Let me tell you, porch monkey, something. You darkies, you jigaboos, you'll never understand because as a psychology expert with licensure, but I don't have the licensure because you only need that to diagnose. When I went to the university and then I was applying to be a professor at the law school as a PhD holder, my doctoral. Now, as I was getting my doctoral, I came back around. I didn't have the transcripts, but the dissertation. And then at that time, I said therapy. And see, what you don't understand is you don't have to have licensure as a therapist for diagnoses because I'm a life coach. And as a psychology expert, what some people are never going to understand about me is when I came back to do that doctoral and the doctoral of it all, the summation at the end of the day, jigaboos ain't gonna never understand.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl, Miss Twilight. And if you are new here, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and share. But you probably already heard all of the tea on Miss Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. If you haven't heard all of the tea, let me go ahead and refresh your memory.
Online. How are you responding to that in this new era of your life?
I'm going to clear it up once on here. I'm not doing it again. And I'm clearing it up for my doc squad, for my fan base, for my audience who deserve to hear me address it. For the folks who have already made up their mind to not like me or not understand me, listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit. Because I don't give a fuck about it. Now, to my doc squad, my fan base, my folks, my village, it's very simple. I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right, to get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school. They were accredited when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Where I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years. I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted, financial aid. You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program. And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one circumstance. We give you your money back. You don't get credit for not a class, a course, a program you took in this university. At this institute. So, do you want us to refund you? Or do you want us not? I said no.
Nobody would have brain believed that story. There are people coming out who attended the same school that she quote unquote can't receive her records from, and they've said, yo, Parchment holds over the records for her school as well as for other schools. There is no 2-year limit. This is such a blatant lie.
Not only is it a blatant lie, but it's a bad one. Does this woman actually think on Beyonce's internet that there is no one else that went to that school besides her? I mean, really, the audacity and the vanity that is popping off of this woman. I mean, she basically just told us we can kiss her black butt. Okay. And I know many people are digging deep into her background and the contradictions and the grift.
People listen to her because she's pretty. People listen to her because she's pretty, and there is a privilege in that. Additionally, there's also an accountability with that of which she will not ever have.
I've been in private practice as a doctor of psychology for 17 years.
Having a doctor does not mean someone is a licensed mental health professional.
When somebody say Dr. Bryant, it irks me. Where is she a doctor at?
When I got my doctorate, I transitioned to a psychology expert, a life coach, so that my hands wouldn't be tied behind my back.
When someone celebrates being free from ethical oversight, I want you to think of that as a red flag.
Now, people are talking about her pretty privilege, which I agree that is happening. And then she made up some cockamamie BS spin by saying there's pretty punishment. No, ma'am. We just want the credentials. We just want you to stand on business. Okay. And I will say for the first time, that was the first time that I was seeing Corey Holcomb be right. So kudos to him. But there's a lot of discourse about it, so on and so forth. But this is my angle and what I want to talk about. How easy it is to grift grievances, especially relationship grievances. It is very, very easy for some charlatan to come off the street, understand, capitalize, and monetize the grievances of both men and women when it comes to relationships. In my opinion, this is probably the reason why we're so spun out online, because we have these people making a living off of our grievances. And let me be clear, I talk about relationships too, but what I mostly talk about and focus on is your relationship to yourself. I don't claim to be an expert in marriage. I don't claim to be an expert in relationships. I claim to be an expert in understanding the patriarchy and what it does to dehumanize groups of people that are not the dominant culture of the patriarchy. That is what I do. And I teach you how to have a better relationship with yourself in spite of that programming. That is something that is solid. That is something that stands the test of time. And even when I was doing life coaching, one of the things that I always told my clients was, this is not a substitute for mental health. This is not a substitute for therapy. If you have a therapist, continue to go. If this becomes too severe, I will refer you to a therapist, because I knew my limitations. I can only give you information about my journey. So for Cheyenne Bryant to have all of these accolades and then to turn around on the Breakfast Club and basically tell us, F y'all, I'm only going to roll and give an explanation to my cult members, to my stands, but F the rest of y'all, is absolute bullshit. And I first saw this lady when she was checking Cam Newton and checking Nick Cannon, because hell, they needed to be checked. But the only person they were ever going to listen to was a very attractive woman that they wanted to sleep with. They'll listen to anything until they get that you know what in you. That's the type of individuals they are. So this actually propelled her to a certain level. But there were fissures and there were questions. We started to see it. We started to see the cracks with the see-through outfit at Jeezy's party, hanging out with Little Fizz, the twerking, and nobody is saying anything is wrong with a woman that embraces her sexuality and that is confident in what she says. However, just like Jessie Wu said, she was using therapy speak to manipulate people. And what we also notice is there is a through line between the way you present yourself, what you say you stand for, and then what we expect of you. You know, I ain't got no problem with a woman who wanna, hey girl, get on out there, pop that thing. It's your thing. Do what you wanna do. I can't tell you who to suck it to. You understand me? But if you're coming across as a professional who I'm gonna trust my mental health with, what's going on in my head, I need to know that you're solid. And for her to just come out and say, F y'all, I don't owe y'all shit, is wild work. Is wild work. And as people, we have to start gatekeeping. We have to start gatekeeping because we have a ton of grievances, guys. And we have to start realizing that that is the easiest grift that a person can make money off of. That's my main concern, because now we got this woman representing us who was never really what she said she was. And I don't see what the hell the big deal is. Go finish up the degree. Has anybody told this woman that black women are the most educated in terms of post-secondary education in fucking United States? Ma'am, if you take 6 months off of your celebrity walk of fame, I guarantee you'll be able to get that degree and be done with it. Easy peasy. I'm pretty sure she has the intelligence to do so. So to not want to do so and tell people, oh, you can go to hell? No. That's not going to fly, Miss Ma'am. And I thought that she might have enough integrity to probably drop the doctor title from her name, since we have no proof that she's an actual doctor. But clearly she doesn't. And let's take a listen here.
Of your degree. Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees. And my thing is that my proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles, it's in how effective I've been. Mm-hmm. All of my sessions have been live for the most part. My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see, right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live. Mm-hmm. And they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it, they can't validate me, I validated myself, they deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane, and I land on this, I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people see that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay. And you got to be okay with that in that
as an
space.
attack, but I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them in service to
Absolutely.
them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth that doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that.
Complete and utter bullshit malarkey. She didn't even try hard. It's just, hey, y'all gonna either accept that I've created a new reality, and it's like honestly, it's like you could be the president and be a piece of crap and be incompetent. You could be the FBI director and be unqualified as hell. You could be a therapist and be unqualified as hell. This is the year of delusion. I promise you guys, if you're not peeping the pattern, this is the year of straight up and down delusion. Okay. As for me though, if you do not have the competencies and the education, you will not be leading me on the road to destruction. And you don't truly, genuinely have any accountability, or I can't really say you know what the fuck you are doing. Okay. It just can't happen like that. There has to be certain disclaimers around that. You're not doing therapy, honey. You're doing something else. You can't call yourself a doctor. You can call yourself a life coach. Maybe you're a doctor like Dr. Dre, okay, or Dr. Pepper, but a medical doctor? Absolutely the hell not. Absolutely the hell not. We ain't going for that. So with that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Is this okay for Dr. Cheyenne Bryant to continue on, create her own lane, and become a doctor purely because she fucking said so? Or do you think differently and you think maybe she should shut up for a little while and go ahead and just knock those credentials out, sis? It ain't that hard.